Hi, my name's Harry Kemble. I'm from Travel Weekly in the UK, and I'm very fortunate today to be with Michael Bayley, the President and Chief Executive of Royal Caribbean International. We're on Odyssey of the Seas. Last night was the naming ceremony for the Quantum Ultra class ship. Michael, it was quite an emotional night in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, very emotional. I think, it was exciting because it's a new ship, and Odyssey is a ship that was built through the pandemic, and it went on its own incredibly challenging journey from being launched in April through to sailing down to Israel and across, halfway across the world, and all of our crew, and getting everything back up and running, and then the fact that we brought everybody together yesterday for such a happy event, and symbolizing the kind of the re-emergence of our entire industry and business, I think it was very emotional. Yeah.
There's clearly a rapport that's been forged over many years between you and Richard. Can you imagine a sort of a time without Richard? Like, I know he'll be the chair of the board of directors, but he'll be taking a step back, won't he?
Yeah, but I think the Royal Caribbean team, the executive team, our employees. It's an amazing company from the perspective that everybody seems to have been here forever.
Yeah.
We've all seemed to have been here just for decades, and interestingly, we have multi-generational families who work on our ships. We've got stateroom attendants who are the grandchildren of stateroom attendants who worked at Royal Caribbean 40 years ago, and it's a remarkable family of people, and I think with Richard's leadership he created a great culture, and it's going to continue.
Brilliant. And a few words maybe on Jason. What's your relationship like with Jason?
It's great. Jason's a great guy, and he's got a good sense of humor, and certainly over the last 2 years, Richard, Jason, Lisa, who runs Celebrity Cruises, and myself have been kind of the core leadership team who've helped guide us through this, and I don't know how many hours we spent on Zoom calls together. It's extraordinary. So it's a great team. I think Jason's very much part of that team, and I think it's great for the company moving forward that Jason's going to take on the role of CEO for the Royal Caribbean Group. I think it's good for us.
Brilliant. You talk about that moving forward. You're refocusing efforts on the private destination portfolio. Will the Vanuatu project next year, is that opening as scheduled?
It won't be opening next year. We had multiple projects in the pipeline in various phases of design, concepting, and contracting for construction and what have you. When the pandemic hit, we obviously pressed pause on all of these projects with no intention of stopping them. But now we've pressed play. But it really means that we had almost a 2-year suspension of activity. So our ambition and vision is to continue forward with the projects, but now we're standing up and starting teams. As you can imagine, there's an awful lot of work that needs to take place before you break ground and start building these things. So all of the teams are coming back together again, and our goal is to continue forward with the vision.
So what do you think will be the first project that we'll see?
Well, we're Hideaway Beach in Perfect Day will be open next year, and that's going to be an adult-only area on Perfect Day, which will increase the capacity and
by 3,000.
By 3,000, yeah. So that's starting up. We're very close to finalizing the details for the Royal Beach Club in Nassau in the Bahamas, which again we think will be a phenomenal experience. That's on the way. We're halfway through construction of a terminal in Galveston, Texas for Oasis class. That'll be up and running in, I think, October of, I can't remember exactly the date, but sometime next year. We've got a project in Freeport that's underway. We're finalizing discussions for a new terminal in Barcelona. So we've got a lot in the pipeline, and it'll all start coming online, year after year.
Yeah. Brilliant. Do you think we'll see more of that across the industry? Like, private destinations, you can control the crowds and the passengers much more?
I think I think the industry continues to grow and it continues to broaden, and it's easy to say the industry, but there's so many different brands, companies in this industry, and exploration brands, for example, that specialize in far off, really distant places. I can't imagine that they'll be getting into the destination development business, but the big brands, and certainly for Royal Caribbean, where we're a very large mass market brand, it behooves us to create curated experiences, and we're fortunate to have the volume of travelers that can really support fairly significant projects that deliver incredible experiences, and probably more importantly, all of the knowledge and experience that we have in delivering a great vacation on our ships is very transferable to delivering the same incredible experiences ashore. And I think we'll see more of that. But my hope is the industry continues to grow and broaden. It universally delivers a very high customer satisfaction, and the reason it grows is because customers really enjoy it across all brands, but certainly Royal Caribbean. And we are the largest cruise brand in the world.
Period. Yeah.
Yeah. Period. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, if the experience broadens, you appeal to more people who haven't cruised before.
Yeah.
I've got to ask a question about the UK market.
Yeah.
How's it performing at the moment? Is it still the second largest market?
It's a good question.
For Royal
It's
Caribbean?
very difficult to answer that now because everything went higgledy-piggledy for a while. The UK, I would make the statement that the UK was, is, and will continue to be a phenomenally important key market for Royal Caribbean. I don't think that's ever going to change. Like all markets, it has its bumps in the road. I mean, if you remember Brexit, when Brexit was announced, the UK sterling dropped by quite a big percentage, and that for our business, because we're basically a US-based business, the impact on it was quite significant back then. It's good now to see the pound back up, I think, at 137, which is really good news.
Yeah,
that's attractive, obviously, but I see the UK market continuing to grow, and I think Royal Caribbeans will continue to play a big part in that.
And how was the summer? Because Anthem was one of the first ships.
Yeah,
back
actually,
for you.
Anthem did very well.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a hit, and I must admit I was a little skeptical because of the itinerary. I'm like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to Ben and the team, and I'm thinking, are you sure about that? He's like, yeah, it's going to be okay. And
they didn't have much choice, though. To be fair.
There was no choice. I think what's the word? Hobson's choice. There was no choice, and it went very well. And and I think I think people kind of everybody wants to have some fun. I mean, it's been an exhausting 2 years for I think pretty much everybody, and it's the idea of having a great vacation with your family and is a beautiful thing. I mean, I'm very optimistic about the future of travel, and I think we do have to get through all of the stuff we're dealing with. When I think about my journey through this, there was a period of about a year and a half where every day it was bad news. Now every day it's good news. This has changed. Oh, there's a new pill from Pfizer.
Yeah.
The vaccines now have proven to be incredibly effective. Oh, it's, get your third shot. Oh, the vaccines now for 5 to 12. And every interaction we're having with destinations around the world is becoming far more, hey guys, can you come?
Yeah.
We'd like you to come. And it's all becoming,
it's opening up.
Opening up. And I think that, along with people's desire just to have some fun, is good for travel. It's coming back.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about good news. I completely agree. Could you maybe give us some good news that there might be the possibility of 2 ships sailing out the UK off the back of the strength of Anthem's performance?
Oh, I would say that's a given. Yeah.
I don't know the time. 23.
Yeah, I don't know the timeline of everything, but I would say fairly confidently that we'll be increasing our capacity in the UK. Yeah.
Would that be a return for Indy, do you think?
Not sure.
Okay.
I can't say. We've got next year. We got Wonder of the Seas coming, and the following year, the first in the Icon class. We've got quite a portfolio of wonderful ships. So I don't know which ship it would be, but I feel pretty good that we'll be adding capacity into the UK.
Brilliant, brilliant. And I'm conscious that I'm between you and
Perfect Day.
Yeah, Perfect Day. So I'll just ask two more questions. Well, the Wonder of the Seas, which you've just touched on, the launch. What can we expect from that? Where will it be? And
it's the Wonder will be coming to the US for about 8 weeks. We're going to operate it in the Caribbean out of South Florida for about 8 weeks, and then we'll be bringing it back into Europe and operating out of Barcelona. Hopefully, if Ben does his job properly, got to keep him on his toes. He can manage to figure out how to bring Wonder of the Seas to Southampton for a few days so we can show it off. So we need to put some pressure on Ben.
Yeah, well, Ben, if you're watching.
Yeah, Ben, come on.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
And just finally, because the viewers will see footage that I'll take on Perfect Day.
Yeah.
What should we be doing when we get on?
Perfect Day. The reason we called it Perfect Day is it is a perfect day, and there's really two elements. And our core market is family.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've got kids, but if you've got kids, you love them and you hate them at the same time. They're exhausting.
Yeah.
But you love them. So, we did an awful lot of research on this, and what parents want their kids to have a good time and be safe, but they don't want to have to be with them the whole time. So Perfect Day is thrill and chill. And we have the tallest water slide in America. And we have a series of water experiences, slides. We have a wonderful wave pool, a huge wave pool that the kids just love. And we have a whole set of slide and water experiences that keep your kids fully engaged all day. The only problem you have is they don't want to go back on the ship. They want to stay. And then we have chill all over the place.
Yeah.
We have a huge Oasis Lagoon, a pool that is 3/4 of an acre with the most unbelievable DJ. And about 2 PM, if you've done your job and had a few drinks, it is heaven. And your kids are safe and having a good time. Beautiful beaches. The overwater cabanas are to die for. I mean, they're phenomenal.
I think I'm sold on the overwater cabanas.
Yeah, you need. I mean, hopefully you'll be seeing an overwater cabana. It is literally heaven.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for your time. I know it's very precious at the moment during a naming, sailing. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Cheers.